What's up, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm going to talk about black interference, the interference black people deal with from other groups, especially the dominant white society. Whenever you try to get your agenda going, trying to get some momentum, get your stuff together, you a lot of times have this interference. These people who are arguing with you, debating with you on social media, and basically just wasting your time, like talking about nothing that's going to change your situation. And then after you're done talking, debating with them, arguing with them, being mad at them, they go back to living their white lives or their free lives, their lives of not having to worry about, a random white supremacist killing you and getting off with it, a random cop pulling you over with racist intentions. And it's like, okay, well, it's a cop. What I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to pull over. Well, he might have racist intentions. You don't know what you're supposed to do. So the interference you deal with the interference we deal with is crazy. And it comes from a conversation with a friend who spoke about a virtual meeting that her job was having basically for the black employees. She had this virtual meeting and they brought in, like, I guess the company brought in a third party narrator to host this discussion for the black employees about what they were going through with everything and how their feelings were, and and basically asking questions. And the narrator starts off the meeting saying, "Hey, look, this is specifically for the black employees, and this is a safe place. Whatever you share in here, whatever your feelings are, whatever you ask, you're not gonna get fired for this. I'm not gonna report it back to your bosses and your managers. This is for African Americans. This is you guys." And so it's a virtual meeting. So all of these, right after she says that, all of these white women start messaging in saying, "Hey, I'm white, but I'm here for solidarity. Hey, I'm white. I'm just here to support you guys. I'm white, but I'm here." All these white women who were employees were sitting in on the black employees basically healing session, their time, their meeting that's supposed to be specifically for them. And it was a sister in the meeting who called them out and said, "Look, that's that murderous mentality that I can go and be wherever I want to be, whenever I want to be there. This is a specific thing for black people, and you're trying to infiltrate it. You're coming in here to just because you have the privilege or ability to, hey, I can be there if I want to be there. Yeah, it's only for black employees, but I can be there if I want to be there." And that's what happened in that situation. The interference is crazy. When I was in Arkansas, we were a few of us out there in Arkansas, from all over the country. We started the Brothers and Sisters Association at Harding University in like 2014. And the first question when we were starting the group is for the African American students. We're like, "Hey, this is for us because we don't have anything on the campus. There's no group that even acknowledges our presence here." So we started that group in 2014. And the first question from a lot of people, this is Christian mentality. A lot of people have this with Christian mentality. What about all the other groups? What about, white people and Hispanics? Can they come? And it was all these. What about these other groups that are here? Are they able to be here? And starting off, we said this is closed spot. We making this straight for black people. People, if you identify with black, you can come on in here and be here. And that's what we're focusing on. That's what we're speaking on. We're not being a group to try to include all these other groups. All these other groups have groups, and we don't have nothing. We are doing something to identify ourselves and stabilize ourselves in an identity that is honoring God from our perspective and our understanding and our experiences. And that's what we did. You have to have a closed spot. You have to have that energy. It's a powerful energy to have where you can get movement going. If you are playing on sports and you're on a sports team, before the game, you and your team got to go in the back room and prepare for the game. When that team goes into the back room, if you coaching like a high school team, without, you don't want the mom, the dad, the girlfriend. You don't even want your players on the phone texting or thinking about out there. You're like, "Oh, look, we right now as a team got to get together because we are out there on the court together. We're out there on the field together. So we have to get this team together. There has to be some time where it's just the team, just the team, just the team." And this is why I encourage my black friends and family. I say, do not argue with other groups about your issues and stuff. Because I mean, they're one already arguing from a a lack of knowledge. They don't compare with the knowledge you have, what your ancestors have passed down on you through your blood and DNA, and also through the stories and oral traditions that you've had in your society. I want to just real quickly, this don't even have to do with the topic of the interference black people deal with, but I do want to speak on this. Last weekend, there was a Blue Lives Matter protest outside of my brother's job. My family out in Roseville, California, and that's like the suburbs. This is outside of Sacramento. This is the suburbs, a dominant white society out there, and they were having a Blue Lives Matter protest in the parking lot area where my brother he works at a restaurant, and in the parking lot area they had a Blue Lives Matter protest. His boss, who is also white, texted my brother and said, "Hey, I don't think you should come into work today." You know, and I respect him. I respect his boss for doing that. Looking at the situation, we've known the boss for like what, a couple of decades, really. Like the family's known him, so I respect him for doing that and looking out for it, because group think is crazy. You get a whole bunch of people together in a group and they'll do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. But I just said, this is the society we're growing up in, where a teenage black young man is growing up knowing that, hey, when people get together to support the police, rally for the police, I can't be around. It's best for me not to show up to work. So for centuries, I've been worked in this country for free, but now I can't come to work because we're supporting the police. There's a rally for the police. My brother, both his grandfathers were police officers in East Palo Alto, and both my grandfathers as well. East Palo Alto, Tenderloin District out there in San Francisco, police officers. Both of my grandfathers were in the military. Great grandfather, Army. People in my family going back fighting for this country for centuries, centuries, centuries. And you're telling me I can't show up to work today because of rallying for the police? This is a white man. White man, he made the connection like, look, man, it's some these crazies up out here, and you probably shouldn't come in today. I told my brother too. I said, you're not going into work today. You can't not go up in there, because I know how those situations go, and those rallies can get crazy. But just the fact that that was the connection, that's what black society is growing up in. My heart goes out to the young black society, black man and woman. Don't I'm gonna speak on this in a few days. I'll probably post a video just talking about the gender divide that they promote from the media, because y'all, your group is man, woman, and child. Everything is man, woman, and child with your group. Men don't speak against the woman. Woman, we got to be there for you. Publicly, no one needs to speak against the group. Publicly, you keep this stuff that's closed conversations. This stuff, hey, you feel some type of way about what's going on with black women. You talk about that with black men and black women and deal with it. You feel some type of way about black men. You deal with that between black men and black women. But you don't go and you don't go and just be posting stuff on social media to your 1,000 friends and 800 of them of another group, and you talking mess about black women. Like, people like that. I don't have people like that on my radar. As far as that, I've known black men who look, this is a whole different conversation. We'll go into this into the next video. I basically want to talk about black interference and just leave you guys with that. Watch out for the interference. Take time for yourself and for your group. Get your black friends together and just let it be y'all. Just be fine in that. Be grounded in that. We black. We black. We know the history, but we black. That's who we are. We're gonna stand on that, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do being black. Okay, so watch out for the interference that comes. Listen, the people who of the dominant society who really helped black society historically, you read about people who, they use their platform in politics, they use their platform in the pulpit, they use their money and resources. They were willing to give large amounts, they give till it hurt. They dedicated their lives. They didn't hop into a protest and leave. They didn't go throw some money off somewhere and leave. The people who were dedicated to really helping the cause of black people, they made it their life's work to do so. These were people who ended up getting hung. These were people who ended up going to jail, people who ended up dying over the cause, over helping the cause. Some of them just over speaking out for what was happening. They were killed. But these people, they were making it their life's work, their life's passion. They're like, I can't sit up on this whiteness that I have, enjoying all the benefits of being white, not being touched, all these type of things, all the benefits over the centuries of what I've gotten from this whiteness. That minister with Lecrae was talking about it being a white blessing. That's interference, man. I'm not having a conversation with you about my slavery and my history and about you feeling like it's a blessing. That's interference. I don't need to have that conversation. I'm not even gonna sit down and talk with you about that. You can go ahead and talk with Lecrae or whoever else you're gonna talk with about that. I'm not gonna talk to you about that. I'm gonna get over here. I'm gonna talk with young black men about building businesses. I'm gonna talk with young black women. I'm gonna talk with people in my society, and we're gonna build and go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna waste time on the interference, and that's why I want y'all to understand. Don't waste time on the interference. Don't waste time on the interference. Just continue to build and just be about it. Just be active about it. A lot of people, we talk a lot, and it's a society right now where everyone wants to get on, on here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and talk about a lot of stuff. But make sure that you're doing what you're talking about. Do the action and then talk about it. When the situation happened with, rest in peace to Breonna Taylor, when the situation happened with her, like the next day, I was just sitting out firearm classes to black women I knew, paying for them to do the classes. Just be about the action and be about the protection. When you're caught up in your emotions, all you're doing is just complaining and whining, and that doesn't get anything done. It doesn't get anything done at all. You have to be actively against the system of white supremacy, actively in your lifestyle, actively in the way you are, where you spend your money. My friend was telling me, my good brother was telling me, we as black men are always thinking like, oh, we always gotta be ready to fight anytime. We never know what's gonna happen and be warlike. But we don't think that when it comes to our money and the way we give out our money. We be giving our money all out to white people, Asian people, Mexican people, everybody else, and we don't even give that money to ourselves, our own businesses, our own siblings, our own family, our own. You know what I'm saying? We don't put that money right with ourselves the same way we do. So we got to think, actively anti-white supremacy even with our money. All right, I went way off topic this video, y'all. I'm gonna get back on here and talk a little bit in the future. Got a few more topics that we really got to talk about this upcoming week. But y'all be blessed. Watch out for the interference. There's a whole bunch of it. Y'all, you don't have to argue with nobody from another society. It's in your blood already. Know yourself, know your story, know your history. Can't nobody else argue with you after that. This is why when I talk with a lot of people, I just talk about my lineage and my history. I don't really deal with the whole, no, man, like in so and so we was over here. No, I just know my history. I'm like, you're not gonna tell me about myself because I know my history. I know where my family was at during this time or that time or whatever. Y'all be blessed. I'm gonna get back on here with y'all soon. Peace.